All right, welcome back, guys. Here's another quick overview of a recent addition to the collection. This is a Grand Seiko SBGA231. This is completely in titanium. I've been looking for one of these to try for a while in titanium, and it delivers. It's a very cool watch. And what I wanted to do is go over a few of the features that I enjoy, and we can take it from there. So I've been reducing and consolidating lately. I've been wanting to kind of get something good from each of the brands that I enjoy. And from Seiko, what I wanted to do was get a spring drive. I feel, yeah, it's not anything unique to have, your usual Seiko Turtle, your Samurai, your Sumos, even your Marine Masters. But the minute I tried the spring drive on my first tuna a while back, and then the SBDB011 earlier this year, I wanted it, and I kind of felt I needed it in the collection. So here you go. You can see what a spring drive is. It's pretty much an electromagnetic brake that's holding this. It's a kind of a quartz mechanical, and I'm sure I'm not doing it as justice. There is the entire 200-page booklet that comes with the watch from Grand Seiko to explain it. Look it up. It's a great feature. It is accurate as heck. Um, these things usually are plus or minus, I want to say a second to 2 seconds a week. In my experience, having owned this now for a while, it has been +2 across 2 weeks. But that's also because of I didn't wear it every day, so I'm sure that changes if you do wear it every day. It comes with a 72-hour power reserve, as you can see here, and the spring drives always have this power meter. Shows you the reserve. So here's 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. It has insane, I wish I had a macro lens, but this has some really insane hand finishing work on all the Lume plots. They're all machine, or not machine, hand beveled, I should say, because that's the difference between a Grand Seiko. And the ability of this is, yes, it is a black dial, one of many in my collection, but what stood out to me is the gold applied Grand Seiko logo, if you can see it right there. Really, really good. I love it. I also think it's really unique to have kind of the inverse cathedral hands that you would see for an hour marker. That's really unique for a diver, at least that I've seen. The Lume is the usual Seiko. It's not Marine Master tuna bright, but it is bright enough, and it reacts really well to light. Has a crown, which is of course embossed with the golden Seiko, or sorry, Grand Seiko. The bezel, again, is a bezel nut. It's got huge teeth, and it is crispy. It is really good. The bezel on this is definitely some of the best, if not the best, I've ever experienced from a Seiko. Lines up perfectly, which is expected. And I'm sorry about all the smudges, but this is a watch that does get worn. So it is highly polished, and I think that's cool. It's unique. It's not a tool watch, which is what I usually try to go after, but because of its uniqueness in that it is a Grand Seiko, which I did not have, it is titanium. And you can see the unique level of, you've got an edge that's polished. You've got satin, polish, satin, polish, satin. 22 millimeter lug width, and Seiko does this a lot with their titanium bands. Is you've got pin and collar, which isn't a problem when you've got the right tools. Makes it really easy to change and add links as needed. Going to the clasp, you've got this pretty cool, but definitely thicker than necessary, in my opinion, clasp. You got the gold Grand Seiko over. You've got the clasp cover, and then you've got your double push pins to do it. The other thing that's on here, like the Marine Master series, is you've got this ratcheting kind of setup. It's cool. I like it. I usually don't use it, and I feel that with the 4 micro adjusts here, this is a great way of just finding the right spot. But because this one has a much larger, I don't know, I guess the blade on the inside is much larger than the clasp. I have to put an extra link on one side to kind of offset it, because when it sits on your wrist, it's actually looking like this. If this blade that's there from the actual clasp is what's in the middle of my wrist, not the actual clasp. Other than that, it's light. It is very light, and it just feels, it exudes quality, if that makes sense. It is I mean, let's see if I can get in close enough to see. So you can see here from the, the Lume plots, everything is applied. The power meter is, it's just, I guess, it's not applied. It's kind of dialed into the actual dial. You have a nice large widescreen, if you will, date window. And you can see the rehot and the pip align perfectly with the inlays. And just take a look at that seconds hand as it just glides. Just beautiful. I feel that's one of the best things. So this has a 9R65 spring drive from Grand Seiko. It's supposed to be heavily decorated, but unfortunately the back is not a see-through, so I'm not sure what the true benefit is. I believe it. One more thing to take a look is, I love that Grand Seiko tiger on the back. I think that's really cool. So yeah, I think it's super cool. I'm not sure where all these scratches came from, but anyways, when you wear a watch, this is what's expected. Yeah, so this is the Grand Seiko, and I think it's a killer watch. Whether it stays in the collection, I'm not sure. It is reminiscent. I wanted to try this. I was looking between this or the new SNR, I think it's the 29, whatever the spring drive diver is. I think that's what I was looking for. So let's see if this lasts. I like it, but it's somewhat Rolex-y and reminiscent of my Sea Dweller or a Submariner, in that it is got the same usual black dial, black. This is not even ceramic. This is like a ADLC metal, which is, from Grand Seiko standpoint, needed because it's not going to damage. It's actually cheaper to replace, whereas a ceramic would crack and break off. But also that it's got a 3 o'clock crown, and I feel kind of Seiko has moved towards the more 4 o'clock crown, and it's become a little more synonymous with their divers to have the crown down here. All in all, still a great watch. But yeah, the decision's still there. I've only had it for some time, for a few, I think I want to say a month or so. But definitely cool, and you can see, like, I do wear it. I'm not just babying this bad boy, but it gets some good wear time. I think for maybe a couple of weeks or so, I'm going to try it on an ISO frame, which is my favorite strap, and maybe come back with a follow-up review of it. Yeah, there you go. This Grand Seiko SBGA231 in titanium. Very great watch. It's cool. Yeah, definitely a cool factor. And as always, like and subscribe. I appreciate everyone's time watching these, and I definitely appreciate the constructive criticism. Questions, comments, concerns, please reach down below, and I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. Peace.